Mike's music method. Boom. Come on in, everybody. I am happy to bring you a John Hurt song. Mississippi John Hurt, one of my all-time favorites. What a legend. Ain't nobody's business but my own. This song is awesome, and this is a huge thank you to Anders Fernbach. Link down below. Anders made this amazing artwork. He already got a different song for it. Was it Near My God to Thee? I can't remember which one, Anders. And he also did the artwork to my new ebook, Finger Licking Cowboy Pickin'. Look at this artwork. Amazing hand-drawn stuff. This is a pencil drawing back here, believe it or not. This is also hand-drawn. Unbelievable talent, guys. So Anders, this is my humble returned favor. The gift isn't big enough for your great artwork, but here you go, another John Hurt classic. This song is awesome. It's Travis picked, alternating thumb. I got a whole playlist on this kind of stuff, the Travis Picking playlist. Check that out if you're a beginner to Travis Picking. This is, I never know how to rate these in difficulty, guys. Some people say, oh, why'd you say it was hard? It wasn't that hard. Other times I'm like, this should be doable, and then people complain that it's too hard. So it's hard to find the middle ground. It's not super hard. Not a beginner thing. Somewhere in the middle. I don't know. We'll put it at a 5 out of 10 maybe. But it is a ton of fun. Don't skip out on it. Even if you're kind of new to Travis Picking, try the first few measures. If you've done other John Hurt, you're going to be fine. It's certainly not harder than most John Hurt. So if you've tackled a previous John Hurt, this is a great one for you. By the end of this song, you'll have a great grasp of Travis Picking, and you'll also have some John Hurt flutter going on. You're going to learn a lot. It is a beautiful piece. If you're new to Mike's Music Method, welcome. The tabs will be up here. They're also free to download at my website. Free. No paywall behind a Patreon or whatever, although it is based on the honor system. More on the value for value model later. But snag the tab, print it, download it, and print it. That's going to help you. We walk through the entire song, so I'll take you by measure, measure by measure, through the whole thing. And then after that, we'll talk about singing and playing at the same time, how I approach that, and how to do it with this song specifically, but also generally how to do it. And then at the very end, there are timestamps of slow run-throughs of each section. So jump around in this video. Once you get a section down, jump to the end, play it through nice and slow with me, and then jump back to the tutorial, start learning more, and that's it. I ramble at the beginning because I want to make all of this clear, but here we go. The entire tune, note for note, measure by measure, Mississippi John Hurt, Ain't Nobody's Business. Thank you, Anders. Chigoom! Hurt is a little bit flat. He's kind of like E flat, not quite all the way to E flat. We're just doing it standard here, but no, when you play along with the recording, tune to E flat, you're going to be closer. Let's start with measure 1. We kind of have this free flowing thing at the beginning. Ain't nobody's business but my own. So let's do that. This playful little intro, we'll learn it. So we're doing a C chord. And I'm going to pinch either thumb and pointer or thumb and middle on 5 and 1. Then the thumb goes to the 4th string. Then we kind of do a run, and you can abandon the kind of Travis picking and do all thumb or whatever fingers you want here, but it's open 3, 2, 1, all on the high E. Open 3, 2, 1. I'm doing it like a classical player where I'm doing pointer and middle. But you can also feel free to do like thumb and pointer. And then we have open 3 on the 2nd string, back to open on the 1st. So 3, 4. Then I'm gonna go back to the C chord and pinch 5 and 2. So again, start the chord. Right after I hit that one, I'm lifting the chord and just doing this melodic thing. Back to the chord here, pinching 5 and 2. And again, you can do thumb and pointer or thumb and middle, either way. Then we go to like a G chord, and I do the 6th string with my thumb, then my pointer finger's hitting the 3rd string open. Then you kind of hear this, it's just like a dead end hit. So the strings there are 6, 3, and then I'm doing the thumb on the 4th string, but you're not really hearing the note. Then he goes to a C chord and he just hits that 5th string. Strums the higher ones, and then strums all of them. So let's try those first 4. And I've got triplets in there. It's like 1, 2, and triplet, bum, bum, bum. that's a triplet too. Anyway, listen to the song. I'm not going to beat you up about counting rhythm. It's always better to just feel these things anyway. So one final time, then we'll start the actual tune. 3, 4. All right, measure 5. Let's actually dive into the tune here. So it's a lot of dancing on the C chord, like usual. This whole tune is just C, F, G, but a lot of fanciful stuff. In this first measure, typically I would do this. I would pinch 5 and 1, then do a heavy thumb, pinch 5 and 1 again, heavy thumb, then the pointer finger goes to the second string. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the exception I would make to this song, however, though, is I might do my pointer finger the whole time, just because he's very often like brushing. Even that first hit, I know I didn't notate it this way, but if you brush a little bit with that pointer finger, it sounds great, and he's often doing that. And for me, it's a little trickier to brush with my middle finger. I can do it, but it's just a little bit harder. So however you want to handle that, we'll do it nice and slow. 3, 4, pinch 5 and 1. Again. Quick pointer finger on the second string. 3, 4. Measure 6, still on the C chord. We do 5 immediately with a brush on 1. And here we have the giddy up. The giddy up means right when I brush, right after I brush, I'm hammering my pinky down to the 3rd fret on that top string. So get used to that. So I'm just doing the first 3 notes of that measure. Now the problem is, the moment I do the hammer on, I'm also doing a heavy thumb on 4 and 3. So the moment I'm hammering, my thumb's also hitting the 4th string. I call it a heavy thumb. You're fine just hitting the 4th, but Hurt has that heavy thumb, where he's often hitting more than one of the strings. Practice that, and once you get that giddy up, once that feels good, the note after that is you're going to lift the pinky, play that open again. Hurt is palm muting. We'll talk about this later, but he's kind of palm muting these lowest 3 strings. So once that feels good, you finish up the measure, and it's just thumb on 5. Put my pinky down now on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, the B string. And I brush up there. I'm hitting like 2 and 3 with my pointer finger. Then a heavy thumb on 4 and 3. So the whole measure, 3, 4. Now when you let them all ring out, it doesn't sound like a John Hurt song, but when you palm mute them, now it's sounding like the song. Let's do 5 and 6 together. 3, 4. Measure 7, we got an F chord. Here you don't have to do thumb over the top, but I recommend thumb over the top and getting used to that, because a lot of songs are going to dance and add color. So I got nothing on the high E string. In fact, I'm muting it. When I do the 1st fret on the 2nd string, I'm just letting it gently touch the 1st string here. I mean, if you want to bar it, you can, but I'm just kind of killing the sound. What you don't want is you don't want it ringing open. That major 7 is too dreamy for this kind of folk song. So you got 1, 2, 3 on the B, G, and D string. Thumbs over the top on the F. And I have a video on that damned F chord, so I'll link that up here. I think I can link to that one. You can't link to live videos, but I think that's a video. Watch that if you struggle with the F chord. I'm not going to go over all that here. So we have that F. And we're pinching 6 and 2. And I'm using pointer finger there. Heavy thumb on 4 and 3. Right back to the pointer finger on 2. Pinch, thumb, and pinch, thumb, and. Then then it just ends with a 6 and then a heavy again. So 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Pinch, thumb, and 4. Leads right into 8 here. Check this out, 6 and 1 pinch. Then I put my pinky down on the 3rd fret of the B string. And I'm doing a heavy thumb, but again, what you could do, you could pinch again. You could pinch and brush. It's impossible to know how exactly he's hitting those 3 strings, right? He's doing the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th. Usually, Hertz got that heavy thumb, where you can just do a heavy thumb there. And I'm snagging, it's more like a strum where I'm hitting all 3 strings. Then I'm lifting it, pinching 6 and 2 again. Then a heavy thumb where I'm just kind of doing 4 and 3. Sorry, 3, 4. Yeah, so let's do those together. Measure 7 and 8. 3, 4. Palm muted. Sorry, 3, 4. Man, in winter in my basement, it is hard to play this instrument. It's cold. Measure 9. We go to a G chord. Fairly easy measure, pinching 6 and 3. I'm using my thumb and pointer. Thumb goes to 4, middle finger goes to 2. Pinch, thumb, middle. Pinch with index, thumb, middle. Then it just ends 6, heavy thumb on 4. 3, 4. Cool, measure 10, we got a lot more action and color here. Very, very typical cool John Hurt move. So let's do this. We got a G chord. I'm only doing these 2. Notice I'm like never really fretting my middle finger because it doesn't show up that often. So I'm just letting it relax. Here I've got 6, 1 are the strings. I'm doing thumb, middle. Thumb goes to 4. Then I go back to the 1st string, but I make it a G7 by putting my pointer finger down on that F. So I got thumb, middle, thumb to 4. And you can do your middle finger again or your pointer, it's your call. Sometimes I'll alternate. This one's not that fast, so you're fine doing the same finger again and again. Then again, we do the same thing, 6, and then back to 3 on top. So we got 3, 3, open, 1, 3, 3. Then it ends, thumb of course bounces back to 4. Pointer finger snags the 2nd string, 3, 4. Sorry. Measure 11, right back to a C. And we get a little walk. What I'm doing here is 5 and 1 on a C chord with thumb and middle. Thumb does 4, then I'm brushing up on the pointer to hit 2 and 3. And it's pinch, and pinch, thumb, and. Then we go to a G chord. Here we do include the middle finger. But I'm kind of moving those notes so it has more of a walk. If you let them both ring out, it sounds more like an arpeggio where they're being held, but it's cooler to kind of, where you make them a little more truncated and staccato to get that walk. And that walk is just 6 with my thumb, open on the 2nd string, again pointer or middle, doesn't matter too much. And then I kill the sound and go to the 2nd fret on the A string, but then right back up to the B string. So the whole measure, 3, 4, 3, 4. Measure 12, back to a C. This one's pretty easy, 5, heavy thumb on 4. Then I walk my ring finger up, so it's now a C chord, but with a G in the bass. I'm just alternating the bass. I'm still keeping it a C chord. And I'm hitting that 6th string. Going all the way to the top with my middle finger, heavy thumb on 4. Pointer finger brushes, 2 and 3. So 3, 4. Good news is, I know you're doing well. You're doing well. Take your time. You are taking your time. You're doing awesome. Good news is we start to loop everything. 13 is the same as what we've seen before. Right, kind of like the beginning. That's all the same. Same with these Fs. You know, maybe I left out one little note there where it doesn't sound like he pinches there in 16, but whatever. If you want to keep them the same, it's easier on the brain to memorize. 17. Slightly different, but I think you guys get the idea. Pinch, 6 and 3. Thumb and, so 6 and 3. 4, 2, that's thumb and pointer. Thumb, middle, thumb, and then heavy thumb. 18's new, so let's talk about this one. That sounds very Townes Van Zandt. I'm sure Townes Van Zandt liked Mississippi John Hurt. I know he was obsessed with Lightning Hopkins. Are there any interviews or is that written anywhere where Townes was a John Hurt fan? Because this is totally a Townes riff. I think he learned it from Mississippi John Hurt. I'd wager $1 on it. All right, so here we go. We got a G chord, 6. Then I'm doing open on the first string with my middle. And here we have another giddy up. Right after I play that, I'm going to hammer onto the first fret. But the moment I hammer, my thumb is going to be hitting the 4th string at the same time. I call it a giddy up because it is a weird motion. If you're not used to it, it takes a while to get used to. And if you struggle with it, get yourself a copy of Finger Lickin' Cowboy Pickin'. It is an amazing ebook, 140 plus pages. Over 3 hours of accompanying video. It's an awesome ebook that takes your picking from zero to hero. Anders Fernbach did the artwork. He also did this amazing drawing. Boop! The artwork was here. I probably put it up here. And then that's also his amazing John Hurt artwork. In this song, this is the tutorial that Anders gets because he made the beautiful artwork to Finger Lickin' Cowboy Pickin'. So thank you, Anders, again. Anyway, that's the giddy up. And then right after we do that giddy up, my pointer finger hits the 2nd string. Give yourself a breather and keep trying that. That's how you practice. And then we'll add the second half, which is pinching 6 and 1. And my pinky goes to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string here. 3rd fret on the B string. Pinch with thumb and middle. Pointer finger hits that 2nd string. Thumb goes to 4. Pointer goes to open on the 3rd. So middle, middle, pointer, then I move the pointer to the 3rd string. Whole measure, 3, 4. Palm muted, 3, 4. Basically done. I know the tab is a lot longer, but we're almost done with the whole phrase. 2 more measures. We got 19. So C chord, pinching 5 and 2. Heavy thumb, real heavy. It's pretty loud there. And back to 5. Pointer finger hits the 3rd string open. And we're going to hammer onto the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. And he doesn't like cheat the 1st finger over. Hurt almost is always hammering with that middle finger. Because you can then hear how he leaves that note open. I wouldn't make that choice. I would hammer it with my pointer finger so I could keep that note, but Hurt does not. He just hammers with that middle, and he doesn't really care that that's a D now instead of an E, because it's kind of palm muted, and you're getting that percussive effect. And it is in the key, right? It makes it like a C sus2 chord. And that's kind of Hurt's style. He's a little bit sloppy, but it's all about the percussive element. He sacrifices nothing for that percussive punch. So anyway, got that pinch, heavy thumb. And what we're doing here is thumb, open, and he hammers with the middle finger. But the moment you hammer, we have another giddy up, and we're hitting that D string at the same time. Now I know that sounds kind of bad, but when you are palm muted, it's more of a percussive sound there. So then right after that, he's brushing 2 and 3. And again, if you got a good middle finger, you can can do pointer, middle, but I really prefer brushing with my pointer finger. So this is one of these songs where I am kind of doing more rapid fire pointer finger. The whole measure, 3, 4. Then it ends easy. 5, heavy thumb on 4, 6, heavy thumb on 4. So I just alternated this left hand ring finger. Yep. Shikoom. You guys are doing awesome. Guess what? That is basically the tune. He's going to loop the same chord progression. When he sings it, it's a little bit different because he's matching the vocal phrasing a little bit and there's less hammer on. So let's talk through the verse. But we're 90% of the way there is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to encourage you. So let's take it from 21. And then once we go through all this, we'll talk about singing it too. So 21, we're on a C chord, pinch. I'll talk through it quicker because you've seen most of it. Pinch, heavy thumb, and I do all pointer. Again, this song I'm not sold on one way or the other. Second half is just thumb on 5, 2. Then he's kind of hitting a whole bunch there. It's like a heavy thumb, but also with the top string. But then right back to the pointer finger. So that second half is like thumb, pointer, pinch, pointer. So here I would actually do my middle finger because we have such a rapid back and forth there from the second to the first to the second. So 3, 4, 22, thumb, brush up, and I got the pinky down there on the 3rd fret, heavy thumb, then immediately to the 2nd string. Then we pinch 5 and 1, put the pinky down 3rd fret, 2nd fret, heavy thumb, 3, 4. Again, that last one can be a heavy thumb or a pinch. The donation pitch. Guys, Mike's music method is honestly made possible only by viewers like you. But for real, this is a labor of love, and I offer this stuff up for free, meaning it's free for people who can't afford it to go download it. But for everyone else, please, I'm begging you. I put a lot of time into this channel, into tabbing these out, transcribing them, making these tutorials. The gear, the workflow, it's a lot of work. So please, what is this channel worth to you? $50 a month, $20 a month, $100 a year, one-time donation. There are lots of ways to frame this. Every time you learn a song, $10. I don't know, but private guitar lessons are a significant amount of money. And I honestly feel like for a motivated student, these lessons can nearly, not entirely, but nearly take the place of guitar lessons for a lot of people, and that is serious value. So please consider, when you donate, you're keeping these tabs free for everybody else, and I wish I could share. I mean, you can go look how many comments underneath these videos, and I get some beautiful emails from people saying, I'm disabled, or I'm out of work, or I'm broke as a joke. All these reasons people can't currently, provide enough income, generate enough income, to give to this channel. And so I never want to take that away from people. There's 13, 14-year-old students who found this channel who clearly aren't working. And if I had this stuff paywalled, they would not be learning nearly to the same extent they are now. So another way to frame it is to think of your giving as a charitable act. For those of you who give, you're keeping this free for everyone else. And if you can give now, maybe there's a time in your life where you won't be able to prioritize music. And so by giving now, you'll be helping yourself out later by keeping this channel around and going. If I could get 1,000 people out there to give me $100 a year, that is a serious living. But you do the math, if I can get 5,000 people to give, $10. I don't know how to do math, but you get what I'm saying. If I could get one of you out there to give me $100,000, that would be awesome too. Support Mike's music method. 5 people to give $20K. Everyone's in a different place in life. And so that's all I'm asking. What is this worth to you? I know that the big ask might be crazy, but if you're someone out there who loves music and you appreciate what I'm doing, you know, a generous one-time gift of $20K, that would do a lot to keep this channel going, all right? So I'm a guy, I'm trying to pay the bills. I would love if this gig alone could pay the bills. That would be awesome. But whatever you can give, I'm going to stop rambling. Just know I'm a real guy. It's a value for value model. I'm not trying to sell you products or any crap like that. I'm just trying to give you a great guitar education. Onward with the song. Sorry, last thing. All ways to donate and this stuff are at mikesmusicmethod.com under that donate tab. It's all there. Let's keep going. 23 is just an F. Easy enough. Pinch, heavy, thumb, heavy. Keep going here. Pinky goes down in the next measure here, 24, to the 3rd fret, 2nd string. That measure is different. Pinch, heavy thumb, right back to the 2nd string. Pinch, thumb, and thumb. Lift the pinky, and thumb. Pinch, thumb, and thumb, and thumb. Last one, we're lifting through the 3, back to the 1. Lift it. 25, we've seen before. Really easy measure of G. Same here. Pretty sure we've seen that before, but real slow. 6 to 1, heavy thumb. Back to 1, but I'm go to the 1st fret. Back to 6. Then the first high E is back to 3. Heavy thumb. Then index does open on the 2nd string. 3, 4. 27, back to a C chord. We've seen this before. Pinch, thumb, brush, then we do our walk. Back to a C, where we walk the bass. And that ending again is 6, open, heavy thumb, brush up with the pointer. We'd repeat from 21, and then instead of doing 26, 27, 28, we do the 2nd ending. So it's just a different turnaround. So every time we get to measure 26, we have a different ending. Well, actually just 2 different endings that alternate. But the 2nd ending we jump again from 25 to 29, and 29 is this. And we saw that earlier in the song. I'll do it real slow, but I'm not going to explain it. 3, 4. Pinch the C here in 30, heavy thumb. We've seen this before. Whew, we'll sing it in a second. I'll congratulate you in a second, but there are a couple alternative things. When he does the next cool instrumental part, when he stops singing, Hurt tends to like pick it up, and there'll be a little color in there that I probably didn't hit upon because it's John Hurt and he does it a little bit different every time. But for sure, he replaces measure 5 and 6 with 13, or sorry, he replaces both measure 5 and 6 and 13 and 14 with 33 and 34. So again, when you go back to the intro, instead of doing 5 and 6, you'll do this. Instead of doing 13 and 14, you will do this. And here we are in 33, and it's just slightly different. Pinch, heavy, pinch, heavy, and on the 2nd string, we've seen that before. But here the rhythm is a little bit different. So we got a C chord with our pinky goes down on the 3rd fret of the high E string. And we have thumb, and then brushing the top 2. Then thumb goes to 4. So 5, brush the top 2, thumb goes to 4. Right back to the 1st string. The 2nd one isn't really brushed. Man, that's the nuance of John Hurt where it adds such cool variety. What a great player. We love John Hurt. And then we go back to the 5th string. And here I'm going to kill the sound and do that open 3 just dead. So we cut the chords there. And that's what's unique about this part. So 3, 4. Cut it. So right when I'm doing that 3rd one, I'm I'm kind of, not only am I like releasing the pressure, I call that the jellyfish, like I'm releasing the pressure in my left hand, right? Just doing it with my left hand. But you can also flatten out that finger. So if anything is ringing prior, I'm releasing the pressure on that A string, but then killing it all with the, you know, just the kind of pad of my, my finger. You can just practice that. And if this is a new concept, this might be actually difficult for a lot of people. 3, 4. Kill it. You can do that however you want. Open 3 with the pinky here, if you don't want to like move your whole hand down. No right or wrong. One final thing, the coda. Let's talk about the coda. So we go back to a verse, and then the final time, we would jump from measure 28 to this coda. I think that's slightly different, but you get it. I'll just play it slow. 3, 4. Another giddy up. And the second half, the pinky goes to the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. 3, 4. 37. So we got a pinch here. 5 and 2, 4, 3. Then we go to 6, 3. Then I move to that 2nd fret on the A string. 5, 3, thumb pointer, and then a C chord. Yeah, you are a champion. I can't believe what a champion you are. Congratulate yourself. Well done. Anders, you're the man, dude. Thank you so much for the awesome artwork. It makes such a huge difference for the channel and basically for my heart and my soul. So thank you, Anders. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're learning it and doing well. All right, let's talk about singing and playing at the same time. This will be great because I don't know the melody to the song all that well because Hert's pretty loose, and I was not super familiar with this one. So thank you, Anders, for making me re-listen to it and spin it a few more times. But however you're going to sing it, whether you're trying to match Hert exactly or not, before you start doing anything complicated, deliver the melody pretty much the same way every time. Even if you're doing a loose approach, make sure your loose approach is kind of the same each time. Otherwise, when you start doing the complicated picking, you're going to trip yourself up. So I have the lyrics in the tab, and I try to get them pretty close, but sometimes it doesn't exactly match. But I'm trying to get it pretty close. And what I would start with is we're not going to pick yet. We're just going to strum 2, 3, 4, ain't nobody's. So that's part of the process, right? Where are the downbeats? Where are the upbeats? Here I'm hearing all 3 of these on downs. Ain't nobody's, and only ba D. The D is on the upbeat. Ain't nobody's dirty business. And then dirty business is dirty business. And 3, 4, right? First 2 are on the ups, syncopated. Dirty business, how mine. Those are both down. How mine. Baby, treat me. So baby are both downs, and treat me are on ups. Baby, treat me. 1, 2, and. Baby, treat me. Nobody's business but mine. So nobody. He starts the buddy on the upbeat. Nobody. Boy. He almost says boy. Nobody. Business but. And those are all upbeats. Business but mine is on the down. So this is what we're after. And maybe you're being super meticulous for a few days until that becomes natural. Like I don't want you to count it. Well, I do if you can't sing it. But once you've counted it, the reason you're counting, let me rephrase that. The reason you're counting is so that you can train your body to feel it so you don't have to count, right? I know like a lot of great players, or if you're trying to get better, you do a lot of counting, but the end goal is not to count. The end goal is to internalize that so you don't have to count. So I would do that a whole bunch, and that might take a long time. Only when that's comfortable, move on to step 2, which is just try to do it with your thumb. 3, 4, ain't nobody's dirty business how my baby treat me. no boys' business but mine. And again, if you're gonna sing it a little different, that's totally fine, but just commit to what you're doing so that as it gets more complicated, you're hanging in there. Before I would do the whole thing, I did a recent video on this called Fingerpicking Freedom. It's one of my live streams, check it out. But there is so much value to just picking a basic, what I call a basic pattern, do pattern picking, and singing that way. So that might be like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So we're not just doing the thumb, but we're also not doing the complicated melodic nuances of the actual song. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. And these might be the things that really start to trip you up. And I would recommend you put a lot of work into pattern picking. Whether it's singing or just doing it alone, you want basic patterns to become muscle memory. These are the foundations for becoming a great picker. Again, finger licking, cowboy picking. Check it out, you'll learn a lot. But if not, just keep watching these tutorials. Do a Zoom call with me, set up a private lesson. Whatever, I want you to get good. I know you can do it. And I hope it's not confusing. Again, check out that Fingerpicking Freedom video. Finger freedom, finger independence, I don't know what it's called. I can't link the live stream ones. I'll link it down below though in the description. Anyway, we would do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm gonna try to do that the whole time while singing. Before ain't nobody's dirty business how my baby treat me. Nobody's business but mine. Even I need a little work on singing that because I don't know the melody that well. That is it. Find a pattern that you think mimics the song the best. That probably wasn't it. I would maybe do like 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Any kind of rhythm that you think fits it, try to sing to it. Only then do you attempt to do the actual finger picking. And just like learning measure by measure on the guitar, sometimes you have to learn to sing and play at the same time, measure by measure. You can't expect to run the whole thing and magically get it. Your brain has to understand what's happening. So that might look like this. Ain't nobody's, ain't nobody's, ain't nobody's, ain't nobody's dirty business, dirty business, dirty business, dirty business, ain't nobody's dirty business, ain't nobody's dirty business. It's hard work. If it was easy work, everyone would be playing John Hurt songs, but there's not that many people performing John Hurt songs. Boom. Excellent. That's the idea. I know every verse is different. I'm not going to talk you through this whole thing. This is a guitar tutorial after all, but I wanted to get you going, get your toes in the water about singing and playing, because singing and playing is a true joy. If you guys like guitar playing, singing and playing is, I don't want to say, it's more awesome. You should sing and play at the same time sometimes too. Even if you're just a guitarist and you don't know how to sing, singing's a great joy. A great joy. Slow runs. Let's take this whole piece section by section, nice and slow. We'll do it together. I am not going to palm mute it for the sake of clarity, but you should be palm muting it. I just want you guys to hear what I'm doing, but you should be practicing it palm muted because that's how Hurt does it and it sounds way cooler that way. Slow run of the intro. 3, 4. It's hard, I kind of botched that rhythm slow, but you get the idea. Slow run of the A section, 5 through 20. 2, 3, 4. Slow run of the verse. Let's do the first and second ending. I'll try to avoid the buzzing button on my shirt. 2, 3, 4. Sorry, now I'm palm muting. Switch to ending 2. Let's do it again. Practice together. 21. Measure 3 or ending 3. Slow run. Let's do the bits at the end. Let's take it from 33. I know it's weird out of context, but let's just add the little bits here. 33, 2, 3. And the coda, 36, 3, 4. Hang in there, Mike. I'm trying to learn how to download the files off flat, which I've done 1,000,000 times before. Aren't you aware, Mike?
Yes, I am aware. That's very interesting. Tell me how you do it.
I will tell you how I do it. I hit the button. That looks like a cloud.
Oh, wow, how cool.
Why, thank you. I think it's cool, too.
Are we recording?
Yes, we are, but now I don't know where the tab is that I downloaded. Where's the download button?
Oh, well, that looks like a down arrow with a ground underneath it.
There's too many buttons to remember.
I know, it's problematic.
Slow run through.